Hello, this is the tradesight Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, November 23rd and ending Friday the 28th, 2014. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. Just look at the dollar index daily chart. You see that we had the 13 sell signal back at the beginning of the month, and we have been trapped under the risk line from that signal ever since, and basically just dead sideways, although we had some great ranges and some great trades this last week. Let's take a look at the euro in particular. Had a nice winner on Friday, even though it basically didn't do a lot for the week. But Friday gave us a nice move. The pound was moving other days, and again, basically closed where it opened, as you'll see when we get to the 30-minute charts. Here's a look at the Australian dollar against the dollar. Bounced off of that 13 buy signal a little bit, and holding that area. Here's the New Zealand dollar. Really nowhere on that particular pair recently, and the pound yen approaching a what could soon be a 13 sell signal on the pound yen. So we'll keep an eye on that on the daily. All right, let's take a look at the 30-minute charts of a couple of our major pairs and see what they did this last week. So here is the euro dollar. You can see it started the week with a small gap up, filled that quickly on Monday. Monday's range was about 120 pips, 130 pips. And you can see the high to the low of the week was 220 pips. So we got a nice move on Monday that we made some money on. It was a really good week. 4 days out of 5 had winners. Here's a look at Tuesday. Came back up a bit, but still inside Monday's range. Wednesday was a little flat. Thursday was very flat. Friday we had that nice drop off and a big winner to close out the week. Here's a look at the pound dollar and what it did during this week. And again, this was a little narrower than the other one. So this was only 150 pips from high to low, and basically closed the week right where it had closed the prior week. The big ranges here, though, were on Wednesday and Monday, not Friday like the other one. So that's what we got in terms of action last week. What do we look for this week? We have some minor data, but let's keep in mind that here in the U.S. we have the Thanksgiving holiday on Thursday. The banks are going to be closed, the stock market's closed, and then Friday is a half day for the stock market. People typically take that day off as well. So we will have calls Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday night. No calls Wednesday ahead of Thanksgiving, and we will post levels on Thanksgiving. Whether we post a call or not depends on what the setups look like. And then back to it next Sunday. So it could potentially just be 3 days of calls. Let's look at the economic data that's coming out this week. Japan's bank holiday on Monday, Sunday going into Monday, so not much action probably in the yen there. Switzerland's employment level, German IFO business climate, Belgian NBB business climate. We got flash services out of the U.S. We've got monetary minutes from the last meeting out of Japan and their SPPI. China's got their CB leading index and the inflation expectations out of New Zealand Monday night. Going into Tuesday here in the U.S., German final GDP, Italian retail sales. Australia's got a speech from one of their bank members. Inflation report out of UK. Canada does core retail sales, corporate profits, all at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time on Tuesday morning. Preliminary GDP, and this is not the first look, but the second look at GDP here in the U.S. At the same time on Tuesday. It's not as big of a number because it is the second look, not the first look that came out last month. We have HPI out of the U.S. along with the S&P CS Composite Index and Consumer Confidence. That's all on Tuesday. That's at 10 a.m. along with Richmond Manufacturing Index. Then you skip till Tuesday night. One number out of Australia about construction going into Wednesday. Switzerland's UBS Consumption Indicator. German import prices. Second estimate GDP out of the UK. German 10-year bond auction. CBI realized sales out of the UK. And then U.S. data, a lot of it, because we're closed Thursday and half day Friday, so they pile it on here. So we've got durable goods orders, the weekly unemployment claims data, core PCE prices, personal spending, personal income. A little bit later, Chicago PMI, University of Michigan revised number for November, new home sales, pending home sales, crude oil inventories, and natty gas, all coming out here in the U.S. on Wednesday. Trade balance out of New Zealand, private capital expenditures out of Australia. And then Thursday, keep in mind the U.S. is closed. We've got CPI out of Spain and Germany, and then Germany's unemployment change data. Private loans out of Europe, Italian 10-year bond auction, Spanish HPI. This is a lot of stuff coming out when the U.S. is closed. GFK, German consumer climate, current account out of Canada, building consents out of New Zealand. Japan does their CPI data and their unemployment rate at 6:30 p.m. on Eastern time, right on Thanksgiving here in the U.S. And then they do their retail sales and industrial production. UK's got consumer confidence. Australia's got private sector credit. Then we get into Friday, housing starts out of Japan, German retail sales, nationwide HPI out of the UK, French consumer spending. Remember, this is a half day for the stock market here in the U.S. on Friday. No U.S. data going into it. And then Italy's got their quarterly and monthly unemployment rates. Europe's got the CPI and unemployment rate. That's a lot of data there, too. Italy's preliminary CPI, and then Canada releases all of their GDP and IPPI data. So a lot of data coming out Thursday and Friday when the U.S. is basically going to be on vacation. It'll be interesting to see if that does give us any movement in the Forex market. Won't happen on Thursday because the banks are closed, but maybe on Friday we will post some calls. That's what we'll be looking for, a shortened week because of the holidays. We'll be posting them as we see them. Hope to see you in the Trading Lab. Have a great week and happy Thanksgiving.